Good morning, kids, and welcome back to another video of Foxflix on the Food Theorist. Today we're checking out a brand new video from them of 12. They made a CLEAR Cheeseburger. I have no idea what that means, and judging just from what we had seen of the thumbnail, it looks so weird. Either way, let's hop in and see what that is.
Believe it or not, this is ketchup. And this is bacon. And my challenge today is to use ingredients just like these to make a burger. But not just any burger, a fully transparent burger, one you can see right through. So hopefully it tastes as good as it looks.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It looks like you can't see
Hello,
it,
Internet.
so
Welcome to Food Theory, where it's only been 2 months and I've clearly lost my mind. Because today, I'm going to bite off more than I can chew and see. I've been noticing more and more videos of people taking foods and turning them...
CLEAR bacon, CLEAR ketchup, CLEAR bread, CLEAR tomato soup? What is this? The CLEAR apocalypse?
Invisible, making regular, everyday snacks clear, completely see-through. Recently, I even saw someone attempt to make a sandwich. Problem is, with all of these, the taste is always lacking. So I decided I'm gonna throw my invisible hat in the invisible ring to up the ante and make the world's first clear bacon cheeseburger. But my objective today isn't just to make it see-through, but to make it taste good and feel like you're actually biting into a burger that just so happens to be clear. In order to do that, though, we have to figure out exactly what it takes to make food completely transparent. So how did this fascination with clarification start? Well, a few years back, a Spanish chef by the name of Albert Adria went viral with his clear bread that he called pan de vidrio, or glass bread. It took the culinary corners of the internet by storm, especially at a time during the pandemic when people were really getting into making bread. From there, people started making all sorts of clear things to eat. I saw quite a few of these videos circulating. With everyone stuck at home, they had to entertain themselves somehow, so naturally, see-through food, I guess. Now, most of these are just shaped, clear gelatin. They weren't actual foods or even flavored in some cases. But real transparent food in and of itself isn't so outrageous. Glass noodles, common in Chinese cuisine, get their name from being clear. Vietnamese spring rolls commonly use rice paper as the wrap, which gives them a cool, transparent look. It's like the food version of those creepy anatomical mannequins. But once again, these are usually flavorless and rely on definitely not see-through sauces and foods to complete them. But now, everything is getting kicked up a notch and entire foods are being transformed. Transparent formed? Now that...
I gotta ask, what in the ever-loving load of bacon is CLEAR bacon gonna taste like? It's just gonna be grease, isn't it?
Didn't work. In any case, we need to see what it'll take to turn a burger just like this invisible. We've established our components. We're making a bun, a patty, pickles, cheese, bacon, and ketchup for the condiment. Now, different components require
I need that exact burger.
different methods to make them clear, so I decided to start off with the most time-intensive and skill-intensive ingredients, our ketchup and bacon. The goal for these two is to make what is basically a soup of each ingredient. For the ketchup, it meant blending and cooking the tomatoes in a pot, and for the bacon, it meant cooking it, removing the fat, and steeping the bacon in boiling water for about an hour. Luckily, the end result is already pretty clear for the bacon once I separated the solids. The tomatoes, on the other hand, needed one more step, building a raft. And that's not a colloquialism either. It's literally called a raft. The process involves stirring in egg whites
Okay, I didn't know that.
to the tomato soup, which creates a natural filter, trapping impurities and other things in the liquid. The whites cook in the heat and rise to the top, and what's left underneath is clear, tomato-flavored liquid. And you know what else is clear? The love and passion that went into our new apparel brand.
Hold on, while I'm skipping this, I gotta ask. So, you took tomatoes, made it into kind of a soup that you can see through, but now you're gonna turn that back into like a tomato slice? I'm lost. Oh no, you said ketchup. My mistake. So then let's just invert that question to pickles. How are you gonna make an invisible pickle slice?
.com to shop and find something that fits your look. Now, let's get back to the burger. The next step for both of these is to thicken them up using good old-fashioned cornstarch. The bacon mixture only had to be thick enough to get into a baster and essentially draw our bacon strips onto our nonstick sheet that we then stuff into the oven. The tomato liquid we had to reduce and thicken quite a bit in order to get the right consistency. And I don't know if you've ever had a spoonful of reduced essence of tomato, but it is tangy to say the least. Nothing a lot, a bit of sugar vinegar couldn't fix. Overall, these two ingredients were a huge success. We got clear liquids that tasted just like the ingredients. Well, the bacon tasted like bacon water, but bacon nonetheless, and I will take that as a win, thank you very much. Now, for the next components, it involves an ingredient most of you are probably familiar with.
Oh, hold on, we'll be right back. We're back with gelatin! What is it?
Gelatin. How does it work? You may have heard through the
good.
grapevine, on the playground, or just that one friend that always wants to ruin your Jell-O cup that gelatin is made from cow horns or horse hooves. That's not really the case anymore.
I know
Nowadays,
about that.
it's more commonly made from the skin and bones of pigs and cows. See? Much less gross. Chow down on that Jell-O. These, let's call them animal products, are ground up and processed to release the collagen within them. Collagen is a structural protein. It's what keeps our skin firm and elastic, for example. Once the collagen is separated, it's filtered and cooled to create a gel-like substance. This gel is dried and then ground into the powder like the one we're using today. Now, this was the best way for us to create the pickles. Reason's obvious.
Okay.
Get pickle juice, filter it just a little to get out all the nasty bits, and then Jell-O-fy it. Easy peasy. For the cheese, the squishy
Okay, so for pickles, it's Jello pickles.
Jell-O consistency seemed to work for it. But instead of using real cheese, which wouldn't allow us to get a transparent product, I decided that making a vegan-like cheese with nutritional yeast and butter would be the best way forward. The patty was less obvious, but it made sense to have a beef-flavored Jell-O as opposed to thickening it like we did with the ketchup. We'd have to stick it in the oven and potentially end up with a flattened, vaguely meaty cracker, which surprisingly sounds less appetizing than gelatinized beef patty. Now, for the beef broth, we created a similar egg white raft to clarify it as much as possible before making it into a Jell-O. With all the flavors trapped in their wiggly jiggly prisons, they have to cool down to solidify, giving us time to move on to arguably the most important element, the bread. I'm gonna be real with you for a second. I thought this would be the easiest thing I would have to do for this burger. It's 3 ingredients: water, potato starch, cornstarch. Mix, reduce, bake. Simple. I thought I would knock this out of the park and we'd have deliciously crunchy pas de vide, but seldom if ever do I get what I want. See, there was a bit of a monkey wrench thrown my way once I took the buns out of the oven. After 2.5 hours, they still came out liquidy. Even putting them in the oven for longer didn't help. Most of the liquid ended up evaporating and I was left with almost nothing in the mold. I decided to regroup and come back, make a fresh new batch of clear bread liquid and chuck it in the oven. Once again, after 90 minutes, there was a firm top to all of the bread pieces, but underneath that layer, it was just bubbling liquid. I was less than amused, especially when I realized what happened. The tray that I had put the mold on to keep it steady in the oven stopped the hot air from fully cooking the bread. That's why I had a top layer that was perfect, but boiling liquid underneath. I took the tray out and allowed the bread to finally cook, but unfortunately, with how much had evaporated, the end result wasn't much of a bun.
So,
Yeah,
I will say,
okay.
this is going to be less of a burger and more of a slider, because this right here is our bread. These are the buns. Take a good look
small.
at these. We had some technical difficulties, as you can tell.
But despite the hardships, at least the buns weren't still liquid. Just saying.
Really, there's nothing to it but
That's
to
fine.
do it. Let's assemble our first bad boy. So, we're gonna
You did the best you can because you're trying to make a clear burger. It's not gonna work
take
as well as you
2
want.
of our buns. I'm gonna pop out a patty. Oh, yep. That's the. Look at this. Oh God! Oh, it touched my face. I can see you though.
Don't drop it.
There it is.
Oh.
I'm gonna put a nice slice of bacon on top of it.
Oh.
We're gonna get some cheese. 'Cause no burgers. Oh, the cheese is not agreeing with us. On top. Oh, yep.
It's
that is
crumbling.
cheese product. And then we're gonna get some pickle. Now this is a lot of pickle. Oh, look at that. That screams pickle. We're gonna cut
It
this.
does indeed
And we have a
scream
crinkle knife. You know what? We're gonna go like that. And look at that. It's a little pickle slice. We're gonna put one nice pickle slice there. And a dollop of ketchup. Oh, that's not normal though. Just
No.
are you close up on this?
Oh.
Oh, we're gonna want it. And now, obviously, we're just gonna close it all up.
Yeah, there's obviously no way that I'm gonna be the only one that's subjected to this delicious, invisible slider, so I brought Ash and Lee to join
You
me.
wanna give it a little jiggle?
Oh,
Give it a
no.
little jiggle. Yeah.
It doesn't feel
Why
right.
is it hard? Why is it hard?
We want it hard. Hard is good.
My poor
It's
bacon got the
so
worst of the first
salty.
impression.
That's food?
Oh yes, look at that.
That's
Bread.
bacon. Hold on, let me see this. This is bacon?
That's part of bacon.
Have you ever had a sunburn?
Okay, initial reviews weren't glowing, but we're not the type to judge books by their covers here.
Look at this.
Oh,
Oh God.
he's gonna take a bite. Oh, that crunch.
As soon as your brain starts to register what's going on, it's gonna get a lot worse.
Oh, okay. Cheers.
Bon appetit, brother. Oh, look at that thing. No, screw you, ad. And we're back.
It's so much worse when you see someone do it.
It is worse. It's not a burger.
Rancid.
Turns out the inside of the book was worse.
Can you taste the meat?
It's like essence of cheeseburger.
No. You know what I tasted? Wet pickle.
Serious review time. You know those like
Oh.
the like clamshell plastic things you get that you are like frustrated and can't open? They're like biting into that, and
Oh,
inside
yeah.
of that was like the gelatinous substance at the bottom of wet cat food, and it also tasted like that. Not that I would know. It's what I imagine it would taste like.
Yeah. However you imagine that
Yeah.
gelatinized meat, bacon that looks like it peeled off your body after a day at the beach, and
Oh.
bread that looks like you melted down a toy in the summer sun would taste like, I guarantee you it's worse. After 2
Yeah.
days and a dozen hours of prepping, cooking, and gelatinizing, Ash and Lee were very concerned for my
Well,
well-being after
I'm
how this
sick
turned
now.
out.
The longer
That
it
is
stays in your
terrible.
mouth, the better it gets.
Are you crying?
A little bit.
Salty. I think you need to take a break. Walk off set. Go eat an actual cheeseburger. Cry, and just have a you day.
Are you okay?
No.
But all hope wasn't lost. There was one more person left to taste the see-through abomination,
Oh, dear
Josiah.
God.
And of course, I wasn't gonna leave him high and dry and tasting it all on his own. Despite me having gone through the ordeal twice already,
Oh.
I'm a homie. I'm gonna go right into it with him. And this time, we weren't just gonna go in for a measly bite. We were gonna put the whole thing in our mouths.
No, Salty. Oh, you can't. Oh,
Oh God.
yeah,
Yep,
you see?
Don't know what I was thinking. Meanwhile,
You're gonna
Josiah
puke.
was a fan.
You don't like the pickles?
I'm sorry. What?
I'm getting another one of these guys.
Oh my God, we found someone that actually loves it.
I made the darn
Holy.
thing, so every part of me wants to defend it, but this was tough to get down. I am now convinced that Josiah is part dumpster. But after all the
Don't make
taste
me
tests,
throw up
it was
on
time to
camera.
get down
No,
to see if I
please.
actually accomplished my goal.
Out of our objectives today, did we make a burger? It's a slider. Did we make a
Yeah.
little slider?
Yeah.
You did make a
Was
slider.
it clear?
Sure.
As
It was
close
good
as we
enough.
could get with the flavors that we had. That was the flavor.
That was my flavor.
Pickle?
Moving
That
on.
was-
Not too bad, 2 out of 3. We got a slider that was clear. It just didn't taste like anything other than pickles and nightmares.
Did we make a burger?
More than
I
ever.
think all technical definitions, yes, and that is the best sort of sure.
Oh,
Was it clear? And granted, now
Yeah,
with all
like,
the layers.
I would say,
That's
even with all
edible.
the layers, I am very impressed that you made something edible that while it had the consistency of something truly horrific, it did technically taste like a hamburger.
technical win.
There we
Take
go.
it, Salty.
Good
There-
job. Good
so-
job. Here, let's
thank
shake
you.
our gross hands.
I think we might get stuck like this.
Lee threw out a
Pickle
lot
hands.
of technicals and technicalies in his review, but hey, I'll take the wins where I can get them.
The objective today was to see if we could make a burger, but not just any burger, an invisible burger. Would you say that we succeed? Oh, God.
He
Would you
freaking
say
ate
that we
it.
succeeded in
He
those
ate
two
it.
objectives?
I would say that you made fucking invisible. Like,
A clear, you know.
I can see the burger, Salty.
Someone's clearly never heard of hyperbole.
Is it clear?
Is it clear?
Clear.
Yes. How would you say the flavor is, though? Because I know you're raving about the pickles. What about everything else that goes into it?
If I'm looking for a pickle burger,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm going for. I don't know how often I'm looking for a pickle burger.
I don't know anyone who would. That's fair.
If I'm looking for pickles, I want pickles. Or
Right.
fried pickles, or pickle on a stick.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily want like a full bite into my burger and I get a bunch of pickle.
Fair.
I said I like extra pickles, right?
Yeah, and no, and I saw you going for a second helping, which is
I'll go for
the
a third.
first time that that's
He's
happened.
going for
First
two.
time that that's happened today. Oh God!
Honestly, Josiah's commitment to the pickle
Oh,
is
God.
outstanding.
Oh.
But with that, this ends up being the
Lord,
weirdest
I had to
success
know.
I've had on this channel. But Josiah wasn't gonna leave without giving me a new challenge.
Lee and I have been joking. We're like, something. You got this crazy stuff. You got this crazy cake. You got this crazy invisible burger. Like,
Yeah.
how about you just make us a nice steak?
I would love to. And in fact, maybe next year I'll make an invisible steak. I'll make an invisible steak dinner for you. How about that?
A whole year I have to wait?
Yeah. My taste buds need to recover for at least a whole year.
Okay.
You know what,
But
that's
Josiah, thank you
understandable.
for coming and giving your opinion. And honestly, the best opinion we've got.
I mean, I guess he could technically do like his own version of can you cook in a dryer like Matt Pat did.
And so far, we went from gagging to almost throwing up, and then you, who actually kind of liked it. I would say
wanted
this is a
more.
success.
I would say so too. I would
Ugh.
shake your hand.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we can do.
So there you
so
have it.
nasty.
Despite literally everything, we
Oh.
made the world's first, and hopefully only, invisible bacon
I'm
cheeseburger.
sick.
I completed the objectives I set out with. It did come out clear, and there definitely
Ugh.
was a lot of
Oh, it's
flavor
so
there, even if
crumbly.
it wasn't any kind of flavor you'd ever want in your mouth.
Got
Sure,
the
it's
evil.
less of a
Got the
bacon
evil.
cheeseburger and more of a salty slider with various translucent hues of pea, but I achieved exactly what I wanted out of this. And you know what? I'm energized.
Oh.
I'm committing now to you and to the whole world. Next year, I'll make an invisible steak dinner. One that doesn't make me gag and actually has a texture close to the foods I'm turning see-through. And you're gonna help me.
Okay.
And I want to
Yeah.
hear from you about what goes into that. We have steak, mashed potatoes. You let me know, and I will commit today to make it invisible for you. I'm gonna go wash my
Okay.
hands before my
Okay.
hands stick together forever. As always, remember, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit.
Okay, well, that's gonna be the end of that because I gotta go use the toilet to puke up my guts. Thank you all for watching today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Links to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all you kids next time. I gotta go.